So continuing our discussion about flow, remember mentioned yesterday that flow is a mental, physical, and emotional state where we're balanced and we feel our best, perform our best, and we're at our peak and we thrive. So in looking at this, we want to look at who uses flow. And well, we all use flow, but when in the original um, studies of flow, they focus on extreme sports athletes because it was very easy to quantify them and to measure it. In the first studies of flow, focused on the athletes, and it was thought that the athletes were the most addicted to it, and they were the most prevalent at using flow. When they delved deeper into it, they discovered that knowledge workers were the most used the flow the most, and that kind of changed everything in the research into flow. So if we look at companies today, companies like Microsoft, Deloitte, Salesforce, Adobe, IBM, Oracle, SAP, HP, Accenture, Google, and Amazon have been training their key employees how to enter flow and how to use it to be more productive. And at Google, for example, they did 6 weeks of training in 4 flow triggers, and they were able to produce a 35 to 80% increase in flow. And they measure this by increase in performance and increase in productivity and creativity. In a U.S. Air Force study, they said learning rates when the people learning to use like radar systems were able to enter flow, they increased their learning rates by 470%. And what they were able to do also is they were able to increase their not only their learning rates but their pattern recognition and other things on what they were doing. They were able to see patterns much better. Um, Robert Stiller, president of Green Mountain Coffee, and he was the entrepreneur of the year, trained his staff in something called the Silva method, which is a way that you can learn to use to enter flow. By learning how to meditate and control our minds, we can learn how to enter this flow state. And he was credited as using that as one of his key advantages in order to make his company more successful. If we look at people like Albert Einstein, he essentially, if we look at his descriptions of what he did, he essentially created his theories of relativity in the flow state. He would sit in a chair, enter a meditative state or a state of altered consciousness, and he'd focus on whatever question he was working on. He'd say, okay, well, if a rocket ship approaches the speed of light, how does light bend and how does other things happen? And then when he came out of his meditative state, or while he was still in flow, he would write down the answers that he got and what he saw, and then he would look for quantitative theories and ways of measuring it after he did his initial work in flow and was able to get this information to him. And he was very successful. Obviously, he created the theories of relativity and he created a number of other theories. Now, at his death at the age of about 76, they analyzed his brain and they said his brain had the neuroplasticity of a 35-year-old. And we attribute this to the fact that he was meditating and was using his mind in a creative way, and he was entering flow all the time. And he didn't even know what the word was. He just entered the state where he could be more creative. So entering flow and doing things like that has more beneficial effects on the body than just being more creative. It has a lot of physical and effects on us that help us live a more successful life. So if you'd like to learn more about how to enter flow, go to my website and join one of my classes. I have a class starting in a couple of weeks. And one of the things I teach is how to enter flow with the use of meditation. And we focus a great deal of time on that. And it's about a 4-day class in order to learn how to do that. So if you'd like to learn more about flow, go to my website, sign up for one of my classes, and we'll continue the discussion over the next few days on different aspects of flow.